What is going on, people? Welcome to the Offside Chat podcast. It's your boy Nabam, joined in the podcast studio today by the usual suspects. It is the one and only Edward. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm in Adidas today. Before you lot chat rubbish and say that all I do is wear Nike. I'm
Yeah,
in
I was about
Adidas.
to say that, man. I was about to say
Um,
that.
New deal, maybe.
no, just all my Nike clothes on the wash, man. Sadly, so.
Oh, wow. Okay. And we have a very special guest, man, from our childhood, if you remember the puppet Orville. So we've got Orville, who is going to be... Do you remember him, though? Do you remember him? Of course, these guys.
I do now. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You're a nasty.
Already, I know.
On, Naim. Do you know what's going on now, Naim? Anybody that listens to the show, we have got this Kate and Mika Richards thing going on. They're always saying, make sure when you introduce Naim, you've got to be a bit cheeky because he's usually the man of reason and he's quite 100%. Serious. So we've got to, ruffle his I'm about to say ruffle his feathers, but there's not much there. Listen, look, Mr. Ralph Lauren himself, the one and only part-time Crystal Palace Arsenal supporter, Naim. What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Yeah, all is blessed, I don't have to respond to that all,
But, both teams won on the weekend.
Everyone won, isn't it? Everyone won. I look forward to this. Yeah, a lot to chat about. Some new news, obviously, this today as well, which I'd love to touch on as well. Some of the managerial goes around 10 games in. And,
exactly.
Right. So yeah, looking.
But listen, guys, remember to subscribe, share. Like and comment on this, right? Some teams won over the weekend and one particular team lost. It was Tottenham Hotspur who took on Chelsea, and it just seems to be the same sort of result. I don't know what it is. I don't know what juju Chelsea have done on Spurs, but they just always seem to get a win. And this is on the back of Chelsea, obviously, losing at home to Sunderland, which was a shock defeat, down in the dumps. And they probably looked at this fixture, Ed, and thought, oh, thank God, it's Spurs. And Spurs obviously got booed off the pitch. But what did you make of the game?
Yeah, for Chelsea, it's the perfect tonic because the hierarchy in London, especially back in the day, was Tottenham can never beat Chelsea and Chelsea can never beat Arsenal. And yeah, more the same. Tottenham just for love nor money, when it comes to going over to West London or West London coming over to them, they can never ever seem to, get the better of Chelsea. And the worst thing about Saturday's defeat was Tottenham didn't even try. They didn't even try to lay a finger on Chelsea. Chelsea aren't that good. They've got some good players, but as a team, they're not cohesive yet. And they are susceptible to, a dodgy result or two. And the fact that Chelsea went there and bossed them from minute one, Spurs didn't look comfortable in their own ground. And at the end, I could see why the Spurs fans booed Thomas Frank and his charges because it was pathetic. It was pathetic. They didn't do anything. And again, this isn't the Chelsea from 10, 15 years ago where they were the machines winning everything in sight. This is a Chelsea that's still pretty much in transition. I know they won the Club World Cup and the Europa Conference League, but this is a Chelsea that's still in transition. They haven't quite got their identity back yet. And Tottenham didn't do anything. Chelsea looked comfortable. Caicedo was the best player on the pitch, followed by João Pedro. And yeah, it was just really, really bad from Spurs. And I don't think the crowd's quite turning, but a couple more dodgy defeats, I can see the Spurs fans really calling for Thomas Frank. I think the honeymoon is over a little bit, but in terms of, he's going to get more time. They're not, down in the dumps yet, but they need to back up their ideas because last weekend was poor. They had no idea. Didn't even want to play. Didn't want to do anything against Chelsea. And these are your bitter rivals. So for the Spurs fans, they, as much as they hate Arsenal, they hate Chelsea as well. And to lose in that manner of defeat, to lose in that way was, if you're a Spurs fan, you're vexed the whole weekend. Your entire weekend is done. And this was an all eyes on me kickoff. This was a 5:30 kickoff. And you want to give your fans a reason to be happy, and they didn't do that, man. Didn't do that. Every one of the Spurs players, were pathetic. Was poor. No one covered themselves in glory. No one. Not Kudus, Not anyone, not Jed Spence, not anybody. The defense was weak. Danso, he got hooked. I know for Romero came on. It looked a bit better defensively, but again, nothing. Each to a man, poor.
Are we? Yeah. Listen, look, and I do hear this, but are we getting a bit carried away? I mean, Spurs are after 10 games, they're fifth. I mean, this was the team that lost 22 games, finished 17th in the Premier League. They only lost 1-0. I've seen Spurs under Ange Postecoglou, get beaten 4-1. I know it was obviously red card at home, but I've seen them hold some real beatings here. Now, I know it was only 1-0. You could probably say Gittins at the end should have really put that away. So, yeah, look, Chelsea, it could have been 3, but it wasn't. It was 1. I'm just looking at they're fifth in the league right now. As I said, they finished 17th. But in all due seriousness, because I know people are saying they're disappointed, they wanted a better performance against Chelsea. I understand that. Last season, they were too soft, conceding far too many goals and losing 22 games. What I've seen from Thomas Frank is that he's made them much more difficult to beat. Now, this is a new manager, and I think he needs time to imprint his playing style as well, because it's quite early. Did we ever think that? Did the Spurs supporters actually go to the stadium thinking, right, we should really be beating Chelsea? That's the thing. You can be disappointed, by all means. Any football player or any football, supporter, when they go to a home game, they're thinking, yeah, look, I want to be putting on a performance. But did any one of them actually believe that, right, we're going to go out and beat Chelsea? Because there is a lot of doom and gloom and there's a lot of booing and stuff. It's kind of weird, right? You should be careful what you wish for, because you had Ange Postecoglou, you were too open, but you played attacking football and you were scoring lots of goals. Now you've brought in, Thomas Frank. He's a lot more conservative. He's making you much more difficult to beat. So there has to be a bit of a balance there, isn't it? You're not just going to jump straight, So yeah, by all means, going forward, it wasn't great for Spurs. I thought Chelsea actually played very well. Yeah. I thought, obviously, Caicedo played well. I mean, he's having a decent season. I thought Reece James is looking very, very solid. I think one of the most underrated, can't believe I'm saying this, but definitely one of the most underrated fullbacks in the Premier League is Marc Cucurella. It's been a long time since I've seen a bad game from him. And he seems to stand up against, some of the best wingers out there. I'm not saying that he's not going to, I think the last probably game I've seen him struggle was probably a couple of seasons ago when Havertz, took his shirt for that second finish and then just threw him down. Apart from that, I thought it was a good performance as well. João Pedro needed that.
Yeah,
should have had a hat trick.
Yeah, you're right.
He should have, but Chelsea, as they would say, they are Europa League champions. Chelsea, come on, man! This is a team that finished in the top 4. This is Spurs finished 17th. Chelsea, you haven't got any rules from UEFA to say, look, let's just get them in here. They actually finished in Champions League places by merit. They've got a lot of injuries. They're missing probably one of the best, as they say, Premier League players in Cole Palmer. So I kind of thought it was a fair result. And the booing, I thought, was very premature. But we would obviously discuss that. Sorry.
I was going to quickly say, not all defeats, not all wins are equal. As an Arsenal fan, when you thump up Spurs, it means more. If you lose to Spurs, it's the worst defeat in the world. Do you know what I mean? So I think with that defeat to Chelsea, you're right. In context, it's not the worst defeat in the world. You didn't get punched up. It wasn't like a 4-5-0 hiding. But the fact that you didn't lay a glove on them, and it's Chelsea coming to your ground, it just makes it that much worse. When you lose to your rivals, your bitter rivals, that's what makes it worse. That's why they're boos. If, God forbid, if we lose to Spurs, but boos will ring out. There's not going to be any sort of like, oh, well, we're still fighting for the top league, fighting for top 4, trying to win the league, X, Y, Z. You lose to Spurs, you lose to United. As an Arsenal fan, your weekend's ruined a little bit. So I think that's what it was. It was more so that it's Chelsea. We can't seem to beat them for love nor money. And we didn't even play. It's like, I think if they had matched Chelsea and give it a good go, maybe they can be no complaints. But you look weak. You struggled against them. It could have been 3 or 4 from Chelsea, like you said, Naeem. João Pedro could have had a hat trick. Nobody played well from Spurs. Not one stood up. Not one stood up. So that's what I think it is.
Yeah, no, fair play. And Chelsea were good.
Yeah.
They were good, very good. 9.
Yeah, I agree with what you both said. I think they were quite impotent in terms of performance. There was, especially it being that game, being against Chelsea, and it being a big London derby, and it's one of your biggest home games. It didn't even look like they tried. I think that was a really, really valid point. There was no. It was just the midfield was very pedestrian. They were very slow. I mean, some of the performances from. I mean, Xavi Simons. He looked lost. I mean, we talked a lot of money was spent on him. We talked about some other players, and I'm sure we will. But Xavi Simons, I mean, let it all work out. I think it's looking a bit different now, isn't it, from what Spurs have said? He looks lost, doesn't he? Is he a winger?
He came on as a sub and he got
7 minutes
subbed off. Yeah, he came on and he got subbed off before the game.
Which he's never a good look. Allowed for. I think you made some great points. I mean, especially when you're playing that game, if Arsenal lost 1 at home to Spurs and put on that performance, yeah, everyone would have been kicking off. It was the performance. You could lose 1 if it can happen, right? But at least try. I think that was it. Spurs' best player was the goalkeeper. The guy made some decent saves.
Yeah, he made a couple saves toward the end as well. Blocked Pedro a couple times. So
yeah. But credit to Chelsea. I thought Chelsea played well first half. I think one thing I liked is when they were, I think, free kicks and corners, they put 3 up front, 3 at the back. Sorry. So Spurs had to worry about that. Credit to Chelsea, but there's no bite in Spurs. They were losing the ball so easily. Caicedo had a great game, but it was so easy for him, if that makes sense as well. So missing Kulusevski and Maddison. Some of their great players as well, especially Kulusevski, different team with him.
Yeah, listen, they've got injuries, and I think we need to obviously accept that. It's more obviously the booing off the pitch. What I just thought, I understand, I do get it. What you guys are saying, you get carried away, you lose at home too. Well, they're not rivals, but obviously maybe just by the city. So you have beating Chelsea and that, so you're going to be disappointed.
Nasty guy.
But I'm not. Come on, we just have to stay in reality, and I think Spurs fans will accept that after. Do you know what I mean? Now they've calmed down. I mean, it's not rival. Obviously, it's just city in the same city, London. Obviously, they dislike each other, which is clear. And look, the run just seems to continue. But I think I look at this as well, and with Spurs and. Look, it's very early. As I said, they're 5th. So, look, at the beginning of the season, if I had said, look, after 10 games, you're going to be 5th, they probably would have bitten your hands off it. I'm just looking at the players, though. We do have to look at Mohamed Kudus, because what I want to do is be fair on the offside chat, because it seems certain teams, their players are much more scrutinized. I think Bukayo Saka came out last week and said, yeah, Arsenal, we are over, sometimes it's overanalyzed, our players. And listen, I want to see Mohamed Kudus, because look, there's a lot put on him. 5 league goals. I mean, I as I said, I think he's a very talented boy, but he goes for these spells now, that just goes missing. Just very, very inconsistent, it just depends on how he wakes up and he rolls out of bed, because this is what we're getting. You've left your bitter so-called rivals, West Ham, to come to Spurs, and again, a lot of promise at the beginning, and you're going to get that from him. So I think it's very, very Spurs as a player. Obviously, looking at Mwani as well. I mean, I've not personally ever been convinced. Bit of a journeyman. I thought he was very, very poor. Van der Ven and Jed Spence for the goal. Horrible. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he got hooked. Look, Romero, they did look like a different team. You know what you're going to get with Romero. It's a little bit all action. But I just think it was a real come down. And look, the games are not getting easier for Tottenham Hotspur. They will be soon coming to the Emirates, which is going to be a tough test for them as well. So it's going to be interesting for them. What I do want to touch on is, again, obviously, Xavi Simons as well. You're right. He's struggling. And he's struggling big time. I think the physicality of it. And again, I know people say, oh, you're always going at Spurs, but you've got to pick your club, man. I said the same thing to Thomas Frank. We'll go on about him and a little bit of dissent from the players. you've got to pick your club. And sometimes I do think, do these players and agents, do they think about the club that they're going to? Xavi Simmons, this is, if you need that nurturing and you need time and you need to grow as a player, coming in for 60 odd mil, for me, very, very risky. Very, very, very risky going to Spurs, especially as it is now. Look, they've won the Europa League. I hear that. But this is a team that is come off the back of 22 defeats. Are they looking at this thinking, maybe it was just like, oh, they're back in the Champions League, let's just go there. No foresight, no looking at think they're not really good at the moment. It's quite risky. So that was interesting. Naeem, we want to talk about the incident that happened with Thomas Frank at the end of the game. Jed Spence and Ricky van der Ven just showed a little bit of dissent and just continued to walk straight down the tunnel. What did you make of this?
I never like to see that. I think I did see the clip of them walking off. I don't know the context. Was it one of those where was it going to go see the fans? I don't know, but it didn't look very good, did it? I mean, I didn't see much of Van der Ven, but Jed Spence had something to say back to Frank and it wasn't any niceties. I don't like to see that. I think, there's a certain respect your manager needs to have, regardless of the performance. End of the day, tactically, he's proven himself in the league, Thomas Frank, regardless of what we say. We've seen it with Brentford, and he has made them much more, more difficult. More difficult to, he's got Jed Spence into the England squad. So you got, in certain aspects, you've got to take that into consideration. I don't like it. I'm a fan of Jed Spence. I think he's a good fullback, and he's got a great story about him in terms of making it to the top leagues. But you don't do that. I don't like that sort of disdain to the manager, especially with all the cameras on there. Do it behind the scenes. Be all of it. But does that show that there's a few cracks in the dressing room? Maybe, or maybe we could be taken out of context and it could be anything.
Listen, look. So, for me, I didn't like that at all, and I've heard different opinions on it. But you've got to realize Thomas Frank is the manager. He is the head coach. It's his ship. He has to try to bridge the performances on the pitch to the fan base. It was a bad day at the office. Spurs supporters, you've had many bad days at the office, so don't pretend like this is a one-off. You've had plenty of, and you've forgotten about it. What he usually tries to do at Brentford, he built a great camaraderie between the fans and the players. Now, win, lose or draw, of course, when you lose, you're very, very disappointed. Of course you are going to be. You just want to just get off. The fans are booing as well. But this is his culture. This is what he's trying to bring. He's the head coach. There was times that obviously when Arteta came, he was like, listen, I need to change the culture. And you have to. It's just because you're all used to or the way that you feel. That's not the way we're running it. You can go and clap the fans. So I was a bit disappointed, obviously, Van der Ven. Look, you're walking off. That's fine. I understand that. But like you said, show some respect for the coach. This is what he does. And I think publicly as well, he's doing this and, I understand that there's passion in the game, but this is just the different level of clubs. This is the difference, because I see certain managers and pundits coming and saying, yeah, I'm not really all for that and stuff. But when you look at clubs like with a lot of history, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, there's a certain respect. This is why they're exalted. Yes, with the trophies that they win, but just standards there. We don't care about it. This isn't how you feel. It's about how the club looks. Now, look, they'll probably look at this and think it was just normal handbags. But Thomas Frank is the manager. This is what he likes to do, whether you like it or not. This is what's happened at Brentford. He's been very successful, and he's your current manager. And I just kind of think it was disrespectful. Of course, it's going to look, I'm sure there's in-house arguments all the time, but I was quite surprised if it was a team or it was a player like Haaland, or if it was a team, or Liverpool, that a player who is so used to winning would walk off the pitch. But Jed Spence, you guys were involved in 22 league defeats. 22, it's not like you're not used to it. So this is why I'm surprised. And I can understand if it's your 49th game unbeaten and then you've lost it. You're a sore loser. But you've been very comfortable losers last season. I repeat, 22 defeats. For me, You don't want Roy Keane to have his opinion on there because he would have it. He will say the same thing. Who are you kidding? Who are you? You're not kidding me. You might kid Spurs supporters. You guys lost me 22 games last season. Myself and Ed, Xhaka has had 2 amazing his last seasons. Obviously, we know that's your guy. We don't forget what has been happening in previous. You're not going to fool winners. That's what you don't do. So that sort of behavior, if the manager's telling you to come and clap, you come and clap. You're not winners, guys, at any level. It's not like you're going to your national team and you're winning as well. So just respect and show a little bit of respect. Again, it's all probably all forgotten now. Obviously, he was in press conferences having to discuss it. But again, Thomas Frank, a classy man. I said the same thing about Conte. I said the same thing about Mourinho. I said, Mourinho is your funeral. Yeah, you're going to go to certain clubs that are used to sacking managers, used to not winning trophies, used to having a fan base that may turn up and actually want to lose a game. So a rival so-called doesn't win, celebrating when Son misses justice. This is the sort of, you can't pretend like you haven't seen that you're going there. And I ended the same thing with Roy Keane again. When Mark Hughes went to Manchester City and he got sacked, and obviously Mancini come in, Roy Keane just said, well, I got no sympathy. You played with me at Manchester United. You should know what you're dealing with here. So again, Thomas Frank, you just seem such a nice guy. And I just don't like to see it. I didn't think 10 games in we'll be seeing this sort of stuff and abuse because he's a classy man. You would think, but listen, what can I say? Xavi Simons, Thomas Frank, you got to do your research before you go to certain teams. And
they got United next.
I think they do. And yeah, just to echo what you said, I'm with you, Nobs. I think it was disrespectful, especially in public. You know, that's the sort of stuff you do. Maybe if you go down the tunnel in the change rooms, you have your dust up, you get your things off your chest, but to openly just wave the manager off. I get you're angry and you've lost whatever, but yeah, it's the manager. There's a hierarchy. He's in charge. You don't do that. You wouldn't do that to your parents. So you know what I mean. So I get it. So it just wasn't a good look. And I think they probably took Thomas Frank's kindness or weakness because he's seen as quite, a nice, measured personality on and off the pitch. They probably thought, you know what, I could get away with doing this, Because if it was like, obviously it's different managers, different times, but if it was like a Wenger or a Fergie,
Conte or even Mourinho,
you wouldn't do it. You know what's going to happen. If you ever did that, you're going to have to get, moved to off the pitch.
Mourinho will probably come into the post game and actually just talk about your career, and then it's long for you, and you'll probably be like, "Oh my God, why are managers doing this?" You can't have it both ways. We had Darren Bent. Listen, one of my favorite players. Love Darren Bent. You saw what Harry Redknapp did to him publicly.
Chiefed him.
I threw him under the bus. Players don't like that, so don't do that to me because I can make it very long for you. You won't be in the team, and unfortunately, because Thomas Frank hasn't won many trophies, maybe they feel you can do that and flex. Yeah. And now when you see things like that, that's when you realize sometimes in the past, oh my God, why is Fergie so strict? Why is Mourinho? Why is Wenger no nonsense? And you kind of get it now because it's like, you guys are going to try it, innit? Try me again.
You see it.
Aubameyang, remember what happened to Aubameyang? And listen, Arteta got it. I wasn't a fan of that, but 100%. I get it now. It's like, you're not going to do that to me. If we're losing, it doesn't matter. I need to show, don't disrespect me, especially in public.
And you've seen how much player power works. How many managers have the United players got sacked since Fergie? Pretty much all of them. I don't want to say they pick and choose, but they can get a manager sacked easily. And you see the new manager bounce. All of a sudden, a team that's winning this in 10, a new manager comes in and suddenly they're undefeated in 5. And it's like, hold on. You couldn't stop the rot under this manager. Well, all of a sudden, new ideas, a new way of thinking, and now you're unbeaten in 5 and you're up the table. You went from bottom of the table to now to 15th. So I understand. Yeah, like I get it. You were frustrated. You vexed. You lost to Chelsea. You played poorly. But come on, man, don't disrespect the manager, man. Especially someone like Thomas Frank, who's nice, who's calm, doesn't do much. He's a player manager. He loves his players. So yeah, don't do that. Bad look. And I hope. Yeah, go on, bro.
No. Very, very bad look for Spurs on that. But listen, well done to Chelsea. That's the thing with the Premier League. It's I keep saying you can't really get too carried away with one result. You just take it as a game as it comes. Look, last week it was all doom and gloom for Chelsea. And then you go and beat Spurs away. they're probably still not happy. But as you said, Ed, it tastes a bit sweeter when you beat.
Flexing. They don't mind them. See Chelsea fans. They're a funny bunch. As soon as they beat Tottenham and Caicedo was man of the match, all you saw was, oh, he's better than a certain midfielder, yada, 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 yada. When we play well, especially Rice, and he does his thing, we don't chat for Chelsea. But have you noticed, every time Caicedo does something good or they win and Caicedo's instrumental, suddenly he's a top midfielder in the world. Yeah, shut up, man. Do your thing. We're not watching you. Stop watching us. Do your thing. We do ours, isn't it? So I just want to get that off my chest. Sorry.
No, that's fine. And it kind of leads us into the next topic. And obviously, Arsenal away at Burnley. Sorry, away at Burnley, which Burnley have played quite well this season, and it's quite a tricky ground. But I want to start with a certain young man who won a European trophy with West Ham as captain. A man who Mark Noble saw something in him before many did. Declan Rice, for me, it's like Roy of the Rovers here. What's going on with him? I mean, he is a remarkable young man, a leader, England captain in waiting. After Kane goes, I think there's only going to be one place. There's a lot of rumblings that he should have been Arsenal captain, but look, we've got quite a few captains on the pitch, which is a testament to Mikel Arteta. But this is a £105 million player. 100 mil? Yeah, 105 million pound player, and we really don't talk about his price tag anymore. And for all the other, supporters out there before that says, oh my God, 105 for Rice, it's only because he's English. It's English tax, it's Premier League tax. Any team in the Premier League, if Declan Rice was coming to your club, you'll be more than happy. The only time you probably will pretend like you're not happy that he's coming is because you're trying to save face about what you've said. He covered every blade of grass on Saturday. It looks like he's getting stronger physically, quicker, a proper leader, finishing his chances as well. He can play DM, he can play the left 8 now. Zubimendi gives him that, that room to maneuver a bit more. But even though he is working and moving further forward, he's actually making it count. His delivery as well. I look at Enzo Fernandez and him, and you look at the price that he was paid for. Oh, Enzo, he's playing too deep. We need to play him further forward. Declan Rice is doing it all because Zubimendi is the DM. Declan Rice is allowed to go further forward, but he doesn't just stay forward. He's covering every blade of grass. Just phenomenal. And it's getting scary now with Arsenal because I just don't know who the leader is now. Last week I was raving on about Gabriel, how he's literally Shaquille O'Neal for us. He's slam dunking on everybody. He's headering like his life depends on it. He is a proper menace, both defensively and offensively. And then this week now I'm talking about Declan Rice. Unbelievable performance. And what was really scary for opposing fans, and we don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season, was when post-game and they were asking him, you look physically good, you look like you're really on it. Declan was like, listen, this season I'm not really messing about. Like, I'm really taking care of my body on and off the pitch. Not like he wasn't a model professional already, but he's still got the hunger. It's actually difficult to not love the guy, whether you're a supporter or coach. It's very, very difficult to do it because he doesn't even get involved in this. Oh, is he better than Caicedo? There's always someone trying to, who is Declan Rice better than, or he's better than Rice at this. But he just goes quietly about his business. And it's the delivery as well. So he can defend. He can do box to box. He can score goals. He's got one of the best deliveries in Europe. 105 million there's no question marks with him. Look at the finish as well, So again, I just don't know how many captains Arsenal have got this season because I'm looking all over the pitch and I'm thinking, the Colossus. Have I gone too far? Because I usually don't, but with Rice, honestly, I'm just sitting there thinking,
no.
Yeah, that's a fantastic player.
No, I think you're looking at one of the best midfielders in Europe. I echo everything you said. There's not many weaknesses in his game. I think maybe receiving the ball in half turn, all that kind of stuff. That's probably a weakness if you want to say so. But listen, every time there's a question mark placed on Declan Rice as well, I think he answers the question. He's a leader. We know this from his time at West Ham, led them to their first trophy in 40 years, came to Arsenal with a hefty price tag, didn't weigh him down, has got better and better each season. Like you said, we didn't know he had free kick ability. He answers that last year with the 2 free kicks against Real Madrid. I didn't know he was on corners. Now he's one of the best corner takers in England, if not in Europe. Deliveries always on the money, man. Always on the money. Just causing havoc when we get a corner. And yeah, he's chipping in with goals now. Chipping in with goals, which he always said he wants to be a box-to-box. I said when we signed him, I wanted to be an all-action midfielder. Someone that does everything. Like back in the day, like a Roy Keane, a Gerrard, Paul Ince, someone that can get dirty, get stuck in, and then, make it count on the other end. Either chipping with an assist, or pass before the pass, or score the goal, the important goal. Just an all-action midfielder. And we've really got one, man. And I know everyone else is getting their deals. I know he's got a couple years left to run, but he should be next on his deal, to get a renewal and an extension. Wherever the money is, you pay it because, there's not many better. He is a brilliant, brilliant footballer. And we are lucky to have him, man. And one thing about him as well is he always stays healthy. Very rarely does he take time off for injury. So, listen, God, cover him in cotton wool, man. Like, listen, he's reliable, ever reliable. And even off the pitch, seems like a nice guy, never in any mix-up, never in any passer. Always has time for fans, gets along with everybody. And no one has a bad word to say about him. So, yeah, we're not Max Miracle. Like, he's a proper guy, man. He's a proper footballer for us. So, yeah, I'm happy. Led the charge on Saturday against Burnley. Covered every blade of grass, like you said. I think he was first in every metric that day. So, yeah, brilliant, brilliant footballer, man. And if we are to do anything this season, he's definitely going to be one of the ones leading the charge. That's how important he is to Arsenal.
No, definitely. Naeem, so obviously Declan Rice was the score sheet, but we had another player, Victor Gyökeres. He played one half. What did you make of that half, Naeem?
Wait. Naeem, tell the truth. Don't lie. Tell the truth. You was impressed.
Let me tell you something. I always tell the truth. It was his best half of yeah. Well, obviously, yeah. It was his best half in an Arsenal shirt. I thought he played well. I thought it was a threat. The link-up play impressed me a lot. I know running in. Look, we've seen that. We've seen how how strong he is and how he takes on the defenders away. But I thought his link-up play looked like it had gone up a level from what I've been watching. As you know, I'm always honest. He impressed me in the first half. He did. Obviously, he got his goal. Right place, right time. But I thought, take his goal away, I thought it was his best performance for Arsenal. I thought he of course, the link-up play was what impressed me the most because that's been my concern with him is the link-up play. And I thought, those training sessions, we talk about Arteta drilling it in, and you can start seeing it slowly coming to. So he had a very good first half against Burnley. Context.
You're a nasty guy, You're a
I'm giving you asked me.
It's fine. You know what's fine because do you remember what he said last time? Was it maybe 3 shows ago where, listen, look, Arteta hasn't won anything and that's his main striker. Do you remember this is what he said? And I have saved that episode because
I know you have.
Listen,
I know you have.
Yeah, he said it.
You see them kind of man knobs about it's only Burnley. All right, cool. If he doesn't score, you'll be complaining. All right.
The goal was great. For me, then the performance impressed me a lot, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think he was involved in a lot of the going forward, especially because Arsenal were very good first half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the good things came by him, and I'm not going to pretend it wasn't. And that's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's fair play, Naeem.
And then I think he hasn't been. This is the first. Maybe this will. It's a shame he went off at half time. I don't know if he was injured or.
That's a nose injury.
No, that's what I thought. It's apparently a muscular. So he didn't train I
I
don't
think
think
he's
he'll
not
be
going to play tomorrow.
involved
Not
in
going to play
the Champions League game.
tomorrow. But yeah,
Which is fine,
Madison.
as long as, for me, as long as he's ready for Sunderland. That's the main thing.
Mm.
Look, I don't know what more to say. Look, like Gyökeres has been probably one of my toughest clients there's been a few. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anybody is
tougher than Gabriel Jesus.
I was just about to say that. Yeah,
You had to be Johnny Cochran for that guy. Johnny Cochran, you was a proper lawyer for him. This guy was disgracing you every week, and you didn't
But
waive.
you know what? With Gabriel Jesus, I still believe he's got something for us this season. I genuinely do.
Circumstantial evidence.
And the reason why I do, because look, guys.
Maybe the Carling Cup final or something. I don't know, man.
Do you know what? Yeah, honestly, I really do. Look, I think we need to looking at the Arsenal team now. Of course, missed chances. I don't think he's the only one. Obviously, Havertz has missed chances. Look, it looks like we create a lot of chances, and maybe the strikers wasn't finishing their dinner. However, even still to today, they ask him who's the best player, most skillful player. These pros all seem to say him. Yeah. I'm just saying that sometimes the same thing. So it's not like that we would just. Do you know what it is? We misprofiled Gabriel Jesus, and maybe Arteta did 3 years ago.
I think he misprofiled himself.
No, I don't think so. I think Gabriel Jesus.
This defense is amazing. Listen,
no, Gabriel Jesus is a
forward. What is he? He's a forward. Yeah, okay.
He's a forward, and I think what we've been seeing, fair play, because everyone's like, the reason Gyökeres is under pressure is because we've actually signed a striker by trade. Since for the last 4 years, we can't all pretend that since Aubameyang, we haven't had a striker by trade. We had Gabriel Jesus, which we know he's a forward. City played the right, then he played centre, then he played the left. He's a forward. It's cool. I get it. He now was our focal point as a 9. Had a good couple of months, and then what he does. He likes to kind of drift and create a little bit deep, and you're like, I just want you in the 6-yard box. When he finally gets there, he misses. We said the same thing with Havertz. Oh, he's a 10 at Leverkusen. He's a 10. He's a 10. He's a 10. He's a 10. Then we brought him as a left day. He played up front. Again, he's not a striker by trade, but he did well. He did okay. Obviously, he's not a number one. 13 league goals in that season. And then he was leading the line. And then when he got injured, we had Marino. So Gyökeres is actually our striker. But with Gabriel Jesus, honestly, no matter what has happened, the way I'm feeling this season, every single one of those players, I think I want them to just
have a role to play, right?
And do something, contribute. Yeah. And I think in this team, Gabriel Jesus is going to be more effective if he stays fit, because we're not conceding goals now. So the thing is, it's a whole lot different. Before, you had Ramsdale, you had Holding, no disrespect, but there was weaknesses in. So as Ed says, he's jinky and then he loses it. But now it's going to really look a bit dangerous. We've seen what Trossard's doing now, but you can imagine if you had Jesus on the left fit. I think we're going to see a complete difference, of the outcome. However, we'll go back to Gyökeres. Look, 4 Premier League goals, 2 goals against Atletico Madrid. Listen, you've got to take time with the guy. And I think to come into a team, I think if he was coming into Arsenal 5 years ago, I think it would have been a whole lot easier for him, maybe, because
you reckon?
Yeah, because people are going to argue me, but it's a lot less pressure.
Expectations.
Yeah, it's kind of like, we're not now. He must sit there and think the level, because when you don't really want to let people down as well, and and I think the fact that Brighton was a failure for him. He's not young; he's 27 years old. He's not old, but it's all about the mental aspect of the game, the pressure he was under. Now, oh my God, you've taken a 14 shirt. You're the missing link and stuff. I thought it was a bit too much. I thought, look, just get him in the door. Don't need to start all of this rubbish if he doesn't do this. I just ignored the noise and said, listen, just play your game. You go in behind as a striker. You're making runs. Like I said to everyone before, we're a better team with him in. This is the best I've seen us in. I know people are saying we used to score more goals with Havertz, but for me, it's a joy to watch. Like I said, Saka must be thinking he's got BO now because he's not double teamed anymore. He is actually now taking people one-on-one. They can't do it. You can't afford to do that now because Gyökeres he's strong, he's quick, and he's very awkward. And he likes that battle. I know Ed was, at the beginning was like, maybe he's getting involved in too many battles. But sometimes you take those defenders away with you. His touch, maybe he's not as graceful, but he's making those runs, and he's given Trossard and Saka much more room to do damage. Saka should have got 2 on Saturday, and he would have got 2 assists. He would have got 2 assists. See?
Yeah.
Burnley ain't an easy place to go. Ask Liverpool. It's not an easy place to go. I'm not saying that you should be going there looking to lose, but I thought it was fantastic the first half. And it's all about goals and confidence. And me, I love sometimes those sort of goals more than screamers. The first to react. Just get in there straight away, early goal, 1-0. I just thought, when I saw us go 1-0 up, I thought you can't really lose this game with Gyökeres scoring so early. And look at the touch for both assists for Saka. So disappointed that he got subbed off. But listen, man, just get behind the guy. I
want to do well.
Behind what?
Yeah.
Calm down.
Remember when Gary Jesus comes to winning in the Carling Cup final? Don't celebrate yet. You don't celebrate.
Let's go into. I think that comment should go to VAR, Ed, and they're checking it now just to see. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, but no, man, just back your striker. But listen, look, Arsenal are back to winning ways. Edward, anywhere you see on social media, Arsenal are the favourites for the Premier League. Arsenal favourites. Now they should calm down, and I'm with you. But a couple of seasons ago, there was a little bit more nervousness from Arsenal fans. I think we're being quite humble at the moment.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There seems to be assured, confidence. I think it's too early. But I think we're in a great position. What's your thoughts with this? Because the media now, it seems, I always say there's an agenda, but it does kind of seem, here we go. Right, what can we do now? We can't really call them butlers. What we can do, though, let's ramp up the pressure.
Yeah, pressure, 100%.
It's
nasty,
though, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's nasty, and that's the media's job. They're nasty through and through. What I will say is, I think the players finally believe. They believed last year and a little bit the year before, but I think this year they were looking around each man and saying, yeah, this is the year. They're not going to say it outwardly now, but I think in the dressing room they think, okay, cool. Nobody can beat us. There's not a team. They don't fear anybody. I'll say that. They don't fear anybody. They know that we've got the best defense. Put it this way. We've won 10 and kept 7 clean sheets. So in 70% of our 10-match run, no one's breached our defense. No one's even having shots on goal. Now, if you extrapolate that across the season, that's not only title winning form, that's like record breaking form. Now we know it's a long season ahead. We've got many twists and turns. There's a lot of football to be played. But Arsenal look serious. Arsenal, we look serious, man. We do. There's not many weaknesses. And if you think about it as well, we have Havertz to come back, Madueke to come back, Odegaard to come back. Gabriel Jesus has been out for a year. Like, we've got some serious guys to come back and help our charge. So if we can keep everybody fit, and obviously none of our defense go down and none of our midfielders go down, yeah, like, it will take some doing. But you still got City, you still got Liverpool, and there's always a surprise team to come and do something second half of the season. So with that said, I'm quietly confident, and I do believe we'll be there come the end of the season. But like I said, game at a time, one game at a time, man. But for now, I don't know when our next defeat's coming. I don't want to jinx us, whatever. But like, we just look like when we step onto the pitch, we're just too good. We know what we're doing. We're well organized. Burnley huffed and puffed in the last 20 minutes. And the dogginess, the desire to win the ball back, I've never seen it before. Like, under Wenger, we were always a beautiful team to watch. And when we were clicking, it was, pass, move, 10, 15 passes, slot the goal in. But when we got broke on transition, it was just, 6s and 7s. The desire to get back when teams try to break on us. We hunt in packs. We press like dogs. Like, we're just defensively always switched on. like what Arteta is doing, and I haven't given him a lot of credit. In fact, I'm probably his biggest enemy.
Ed, don't. No, don't. I don't know.
Timestamp this.
No. Do you know why I don't want him to? Because you haven't so far, and it's down well. So just please.
You do it.
No. Listen, I'm a fair man. I'm a fair man.
I don't want.
Let me land this plane.
No, but don't go too far.
No. I was gonna say it's impressive the mindset that he's instilled.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
No. Yeah, let me land. Listen, I'm still me, bro.
This is Ed, but he can't just go too.
I'm still me.
No, that's fine because I didn't want him to start doing something.
No. I'm not gonna think he's crazy. I'm not gonna think he's crazy. I'm just saying, like, the way we defend, as much as I want us to be free flowing and scoring 10, 15 goals in a 5-match run and all that kind of stuff, 3 goals a game. You have to applaud the defensive mindset and the fact that we used to mock him with the jewels and all that kind of stuff. No, it's serious. It's serious, man, and it's paying dividends. Imagine 7 clean sheets. 7 clean sheets in 10 games. Like, and I don't want to jinx it, but we play Sunderland next week. It could be the same. Like, who is going to breach our defense? Now, don't clip this up. And I know, our enemies are watching. Like, yeah, cool. Watch. Ed said who's going to breach our defense. I'm not saying that we're unbreachable. I'm just saying when we play games now, we are so dogged. It's like we want that clean sheet more than we want to win sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like we just want to defend. And yes, it's impressive, man. So to answer your question, yeah, I reckon we'll be there come the end of the season. But I've seen this movie too many times before. Too many times.
But obviously, clearly not like this because you said you've never seen this before. But yeah.
No, yeah. Like, this is what, this is what in 91, under George Graham, 1-0 to the Arsenal, that kind of stuff where it's like, I think the year we won it that year, I think we conceded 18 goals. So it's that sort of, those kind of records where, you're not going to breach us. And if you do, it's going to be, from Haaland or, Szoboszlai, wonder kick, free kick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you look back at it is mad. Right. Naeem. Liverpool crisis, Liverpool under pressure. But listen, they win at home against Villa to halt the pressure for now. What did you make of that? Huge win for them. Did you watch the game?
I watched part of it. I didn't watch all of it. But I think Liverpool needed the win. Massive win for Slot and the whole of Liverpool in that aspect. I thought they were very lucky the first half. In places, if Rodgers had, in their defeats they had conceded in the first 15 minutes. Morgan Rodgers had a bit of luck at the start of the game when he hit the post. Mm-hmm. It'd be really interesting to see what would happen with Liverpool going 1-0 down. I thought Villa were good, but then all due respect, I think one thing with Liverpool, given they looked a bit slower tempo. I think the past few games has been a bit more of that sort of high tempo games under Klopp. But I thought Martinez, what he did, he gift wrapped. I mean, you do all that hard work first half, or point at Anfield, still a great result, regardless of what they are for Villa. Good point, keeps you in the mix, and then you go and do something like that. I mean, on half time as well, wasn't it? It was around half time.
Naeem.
It's just, I mean, it was flat. One thing I'll say is that it was interesting with Liverpool. That was probably their strongest team at the moment. No Wirtz again. Obviously, Isaac's injured, but yeah, it was credit to Liverpool in that aspect, but on a platter. It was on a platter.
Naeem, you mentioned the name here, and I was speaking to a Villa fan about it, and I'm not one of those guys that say you have to look at replacing the long term, but it looks like Martinez is becoming more of a hindrance to Aston Villa than a positive. And if you're an Arsenal supporter, you're not surprised by this guy. I just kind of feel that, some of the behavior is someone that you would think is 20 years old. You would expect that from him. I'm not a fan. I actually think he's actually slightly overrated as well. I think he's in the right place at the right time. With Villa, he had a good season. Obviously, with Argentina, look, Was it Moani? I still haven't forgiven him for that. But you go and win I think in right place, right time for me. I do think he is slightly overrated. The attitude is just stinks, isn't it? Look, it stank from the exit with Arsenal. Look, he'll come out and say
this summer did he want to leave?
Do you remember against Arsenal? Do you remember with Arsenal? Yeah, Villa to Buendia, they're the team that go and play. This is the sort of character that you're dealing with. You saw the thing with Mbappe with the gloves over his, private parts. Obviously, the slagging off of Mbappe last season. At the end, away at Old Trafford, they're both trying to fight. Trying to fight for the Champions League. Bozo moments again. Then in the summer, you're looking at you want to leave, then you stay here. The distribution that game. Guys, I watched that first half. I thought Villa looked good. They actually beat the press for Liverpool on 3 or 4 occasions. Like they literally, they were gone. If they finished their dinner, it probably
decision making was a bit.
Yeah, decision making, but still, obviously, Rodgers hit the post. But when you're so close to halftime, especially at Anfield, you want to see the game out. Ekitike, they even got off blind because Ekitike scored a header, but it was offside. So, Ed, this is the game you start thinking, we're riding our luck, but this is good. And Martinez. Look, I'm converted now. Before, I used to be one of those guys that was like, listen, as long as goalkeepers, good shot stopping, old-fashioned, I'm not really interested in they have to be good with their feet and stuff. But now you're looking at the modern game goes, you have to be good with your feet, man. If you cannot distribute the ball without having to hoof it up or throw, if you cannot pass to your man and not get him into trouble, it's big trouble. And look, they literally just gifted a goal to Salah. So for me, that's like 2 goals. Last week, I said, look, I was very disappointed with him. The fact that Salah got on the score sheet and he's been woeful this season, I thought you give him a goal, he's going to start going on a little run of scoring now. And you literally, all the hard work from the team, all of the pressing, all of on the back of back, good results there. Your guys are out there doing that, and you just do that. And he doesn't even look bothered about it. It's just not even the first time. You must be thinking to yourself, Villa have to replace that goalkeeper straight away. It's what comes with it. It's not just the mistakes, but I just think he's all right. You're trying to get a move, and I don't know. If I was a Villa supporter, obviously, it's very different, and you've got different standards. But I would be looking at Aaron Ramsdale all day long. I'm thinking we've got to look to kind of for the long term. Yeah, for me,
I'm sure there's loads of other goalkeepers about. I think Martinez.
I just think
dropped off.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I mean,
I hear they're replacing it, but I'm not sure, man. Ramsdale. Yeah. I
he's better with his feet than thinking. Now,
yeah, but he will cost you. Ramsdale will cost you, man. Remember, I was in the is Raya better than Ramsdale when we signed him? Since Ramsdale,
that's actually one of my greatest. Because I'm back to the beginning. We've got another friend who was not. Remember? Yeah.
At the time, I was thinking there's not much material difference. Boy, was I wrong. Ramsdale will cost you, man. Ramsdale will cost you. Like, put it this way, if Villa are trying to go places, Ramsdale's not the kind of guy.
I don't know, man.
Man.
No, I'm with Ed.
He will do the exact same thing. Thing did that pass to Salah? That's Ramsdale. Easy.
I think that was Ramsdale.
It's just bozo. It's bozo.
I think that was 2 seasons ago. I think you've got this is a great point because we've seen it, but I think he's very young in goalkeeper years.
Oh, is he 28?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I think that for me, I get that, Ed, because obviously we've seen, but then I've seen a lot of great moments from him as well, not just shot stopping. I've seen some.
Of course. He's a match.
I just feel he is I think you got to move on from Martinez. The age, the behavior in the summer. It just doesn't. I don't know. You think, but anyway, look, I'm not a Villa fan. Maybe I'm just upset. Maybe I'm just annoyed at what he did because I thought
they're 3 points away in that respect. 100%. Salah though. Salah is it the 3rd Liverpool player to get 250 goals for Liverpool?
Yeah, 250.
After Rush and is it Roger Hunt?
Roger Hunt, I think his name.
Roger Hunt, yeah. So great credit to him in that aspect. Hopefully he's form when he goes to AFCON in a couple of months. So
yeah, hopefully.
Well, what's it, about 6 weeks, right?
Yeah. But you see Villa, Emery and Villa, they upset me, man, because for weeks. What has Slot been saying? We can't defend the transition and long balls over the top. We can't deal with them, right? And what did Villa try to do? Play it from the back and tippy tappy. We've got a battering ram in Watkins. Ping up to him. He can bring it down and bring others into play. The blueprint was there to beat them, and they didn't want to take it. I was just thinking, typical Emery in Villa. When you expect them to do something, they'll let you down. When you least expect them to, pull out a victory, that's when they suddenly, they go and beat Spurs away. I mean, it's just madness.
The only time I think you can trust them is when they're at home.
At home on Europe.
Certain teams, then I think, right, it's going to be a bit, But guys, listen, look, we have to talk about Erling Haaland and Manchester City. Listen, on fire again. Just a phenomenal player, Erling Haaland. It's the manner of the goals as well. Look, I was speaking to a good friend of mine and mentioned with Bournemouth. I hope everyone plays this high line against Arsenal because, but Erling Haaland, man, if you don't get that line correct, he is going to gallop. And
You're on toast.
Yeah, man. You know what he's going to do. And he misses chances, but he just gets a lot of chances and he's finishing his dinner. And one thing I like about Erling Haaland, not the fact that he's born the same day as me, but what it is about I do.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought
that makes playing at goals so much sense.
Does it?
Bro, I've played football twice, and the way this guy is just a nitty for goals.
Always offside, right?
Anywhere. So you pass head up, boom. All he cares about. So it makes sense.
Bro, honestly, when I saw that,
go Chris. Stay there.
But the thing is with him is maybe now, look, I know obviously that you would say that City are kind of, title rivals this season. We've come second to them a good few times. But I ended up on YouTube on his channel. And this guy's, honestly, you just see the finishes, but it is the professionalism about him. You've got to realize this is a guy who didn't really have to get into football. His dad is a multi-million-pound professional player. He could have just been one of those playboys that just thought, right, I don't really need to. Why don't I just buy properties with daddy's money and then I could just, look, he could have done anything he wants to do. You got to think, his dad was a professional football player for so many years. But this boy is meticulous, man. The massage, the hip, the ice baths. His diet is so Norwegian, man. He has to have raw milk. He buys, his produce from the local farm. Did you see us when we like, right, let's go Waitrose because it's quite expensive. But these guys, you talk about Scandinavia, they're not getting fooled by supermarkets, man. He's like, right, where's the local? I want the local milk. I want the local steak. And he's just meticulous. And you just see it and he just gets the results. He's just going to be gobbling up golden boots. No matter what happens, he's still going to gobble them up. The thing is, though, lads, I've been criticized for saying this. I think they're one injury away, man. I think if he's missing, I think it's a bit long for them. I think it's going to, because he just keeps getting them out of trouble. I'm not looking at other players. Before with City, he was, always scoring goals. But I used to look about and think, there's a few of them, man. Foden, you know what I mean? De Bruyne, Gundogan. Like there was plays that you think, oh, who's going to get you today? I just think it's Haaland that's going to get you. And is it dangerous to? We're saying being over-reliant. He's the highest paid player in the Premier League. You hope he scores every single game because, he's paid for City to do that. But I do think if they get an injury or he's missing, I think it could get a bit dark. Am I now hoping? Or, this is what I truly believe in. He is on fire at the moment. Can he continue this for the rest of the season? Who knows? No, who knows? He knows.
This fit, yeah.
But where does he rank? In terms of, the shooters, the gunmen we've seen, the strikers in this league, I know he's only been there, is his fourth season? Where does he rank all time? Because if he stays here the rest of his career, that 260 is gone. that 260 is out of here.
Yeah.
Whatever
I
you thought,
don't think he will though. So that's the thing. I don't think he will. I think. Do you know what? I'm going to make a prediction now. We're going off topic, but I kind of feel. I don't know, man. I've got a feeling I could probably see Kane. There's whispers in about this Lewandowski and Barcelona. I think after the thing, and I can see him, and I can see Haaland going Real.
I agree with you. I think
I don't know.
those two. I can see him at Real.
Yeah, I can see.
So you reckon Haaland and Mbappe in the same team?
Well, Mbappe will go back to his position. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. But I think he might go back to that left. Because listen, are you talking about who's the best in the Prem or who's just the best full stop?
No. I know. I was saying, where does Haaland rank, or when it's all said and done, if he leaves or he stays, where will he rank? Because what he's doing, I don't know.
Depends longevity. I think Ed, with the Premier League, one thing what we've learned with English football is you need longevity. So you need to be here for a long time. We're quite
4 seasons. He does 4. It does say he does at the end of the season.
How long did Suarez stay here? Because he's, for me, look, Thierry Henry as players, overall players. Thierry Henry and Suarez for me just unstoppable. But Suarez wasn't here long enough, or Cristiano Ronaldo.
No,
so
I'm talking about like via position, not players. Because I'm not saying he's limited, but he doesn't mess around with
as a striker.
As a proper 9, you talk about a gun.
Because you've had obviously Fowler, Sheringham,
top
Ferdinand,
Shearer.
That's what I was getting at. Like
he's top 4 already.
This guy is crazy. When it comes
to Shearer, Kane, Henry, who is not actually an out-and-out striker, but if I'm talking about for goals, and him, that's it. They're in.
He's lapped Aguero. Now he's better than Aguero.
Aguero, yeah.
Because Aguero was clapped. Yeah, Aguero will give you 20 easy, 25 easy.
5 strikers. I think he was in one of the. Aguero was picked in the top 5, weren't he?
I'm sorry, man.
The way Haaland's moving.
Array of finishing.
No, I think in terms of finishing, 2 different arguments.
Yeah. 2 different arguments.
Types of goals.
Who would you want in your
Aguero
team?
all day long.
Aguero or no? Your team. Listen, your team is stacked now. Your team is stacked. So you have got the best defense, the best midfield. So you've got to create chances, hard to beat. But I'm saying, who do you want in your team? Because
recency bias, I think I'm going Haaland. It just feels like he's.
I think it's reasonable.
Aguero is the much better player, and in terms of like superstar, won the goals, he has it all. Free kick to the. But in terms of like just the regularity, I'd have to see their minutes to game ratio, right, or goals to game ratio, whatever. I think that like it's quite similar, but I don't know if Aguero was slapping like 13 in like 10. I don't think he was doing that. I think it was like it might have been like 8 or 7 in 13. But like what Haaland's doing, like it's the first season as well. The first season he signs, he slaps 35, right? The second season the first season he won the treble. Was that the first season? Treble. Key to them winning the treble. I know he went missing in the Champions League. Second season
only to the latter end, but look,
of course.
I mean,
second season Prem, third season Prem, fourth. Is this
no.
There's only won 2 Prem.
He's got 2 Prems. And then Liverpool won it last year. So this is his 4th season, right?
Fourth season. So he's got the trophies to back it up. Then the regularity which he's scoring goals. I don't know if we've seen a lot of brilliant strikers. I don't know if we've seen anything quite like him. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but
listen.
He's looking mad. He's looking mad.
He is
he's looking crazy.
As I said before, man, he is. Listen, man, it's maybe because if you haven't, I just urge you to take half an hour of your time and just go. Can you imagine? I'm doing Man City.
Bro, he's scored 98 in 107 appearances in the top flight.
Thank you, Naim. I was just looking for his record. 98 in 107. Come on, man. Listen, if he stays here for the rest of his career.
Oh no, definitely.
So what, in 3.5 seasons, he's got 98 goals.
Yeah, I mean,
if he continues another 3 seasons, that's 180. But he's clearing that 2. If he stays here, because he's only 25. If he stays here till 35. I don't obviously.
Can you see him staying though? Because I can't.
He'll go Madrid. He'll go Madrid because if anything, he's won everything in England already.
I don't think he goes to Madrid though. I don't think he wants to go to where Mbappe is. I think he would go to Barca. And if Barca are smart, you go and
They
get
can't afford him, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, Barca. I mean,
you say that.
Financially,
you say that. You know what it is? It'll be on a free. They won't pay for him, but they'll get him and give him the money.
City.
Hasn't he signed a new contract though? Hasn't he signed some big ass contract?
He's signed a new contract.
2030.
Well, no chance of City letting him go for free. Like it's just it just won't happen. I understand what you mean. If he had that player power, no chance. Remember, City you're not going to bully them. They'll sell you, innit?
I don't know.
I don't think they'll be like, yeah, run your contract down. You can go on.
I think it's different. I think once Pep goes, I think the power goes back to the players.
But he's an asset, bro.
No, he's an asset. But it's a situation where if he doesn't want to sign, he doesn't sign. It's that simple.
They'll sell him.
He'll shake his contract because he signed.
He's the high. Naeem.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but we're forecasting the future. None of us can predict the future. If we did, we wouldn't be here. But all I'm saying is Haaland, what he's doing, what he's done in this league, you're looking at, if he's not top 5 at his position already.
100%. He is.
Fake,
as I said, he's top 4, man. He's top 4 for me.
He's fake.
That we've ever seen. It's phenomenal with him, and he's only 25, as you're saying.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's not real.
It's definitely that. But look, City, what are you making of them, man? Obviously, look, they've got the best manager, arguably in the history of modern football.
Mm-hmm.
They've obviously got the best striker out there at the moment. They're used to winning. They're going quiet about their business. I have said that I feel if Haaland gets injured or he loses a bit of form, which it could happen, I'm kind of looking around and I'm not really seeing the characters that could pull them through. I think they've got the winning mentality. I can't even say that the legs are gone, but I'm looking at Bernardo Silva now. Okay, can these guys pull them through? I just kind of feel that the rebuild is there now. And I think they're dangerous. As long as you got him scoring, you're gonna have a chance. But I just kind of feel if you get an injury, big game. They're playing Liverpool next week.
Yeah.
It's at Anfield.
No, it's at City.
It's at City.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. City, that you could show us now, because obviously you came away at the Emirates and you got 37% possession, 5-6 centre backs on there. So you kind of let everyone know, we don't want it here. We'll snatch a goal and we'll sit there. Now Liverpool are here. They're for the taking now, apparently. So for me, all eyes are watching the game. I'm going to see who really is about this and really who really wants this. Because I feel it can kind of be quite detrimental whoever loses next week. I generally believe if Arsenal win against Sunderland, I kind of feel you're moving from 7 to 10 points or from 6 to 9. I'm not saying it's over, but it's not good to see a team go.
Arsenal play first. Arsenal play first, right? On the front.
I'm not saying it's over. I think it's going to be a dent because if we were 10 points behind now, what would you say?
I think City can afford to lose. I don't think Liverpool can afford to lose.
Interesting.
I think that's right. We know what City can do. They do that every year. There'll be that run.
I think because there are so many question marks about Liverpool, one more loss, I don't want to say you can cut them out, but I think it will do way more damage. Because remember, they've just lost 6 and 7. That Villa defeat stopped the rot, but they're not out of the woods yet. If they lose again, it can maybe, psychologically land a big blow onto them. I don't know if it will be as damaging for City, purely because they can destroy the little fodder. They can deal with 10 and below. They can just give them 4 or 5 easily, because Haaland with Haaland, and he's not injured, so there's a situation with that. I think with Liverpool, you've seen they lost to Palace convincingly in the cup. They've got Madrid, I think, tomorrow. Madrid might touch them up. It's a situation where defensively they're still very weak. I can't trust them. The fullbacks are rubbish.
It's at Anfield, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I think European night, man. I know everyone was saying that. Yeah.
They lost to Gala though.
No, I hear that, but I just kind of.
I know it was away, but it's still
Madrid, Madrid are playing well, and Madrid are playing well at the moment. Good 4-0 win.
Mbappe, Mbappe is going to be thinking,
It's going to be interesting, though.
You man, you man of food.
Mbappe.
Jude likes playing against, and Bellingham's back in England.
Yeah. Xabi Alonso going back home.
Trent,
Trent knows injured, but
he's on the bench. No, he's on the bench.
On the bench, yeah. Okay.
Who?
Trent.
Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting, man. Going to be interesting. But all right, lads.
One other thing I wanted to mention is the Wolves. First manager gone.
He had to go, man. He had to go. He was thinking. Winless in 10. And this is 2 years running. Yeah. You gotta go, bruv.
I think it wasn't his brother, but he wasn't far off being one of our favourites for going, isn't it? First manager, I think.
I think Wolves are going down, man. It's going to take some.
The first one gone because Andrew's
gone. Andrew was That was that's a fair point actually. I put that.
Look at that smell. You're nasty. No, look at
it's true. No, it's fair. It's fair. I keep that in the back of my mind. I've got Andrews here.
No, do you know what I feel?
I was like,
and then it's true. Yeah. You forget about that sort of thing. Yeah.
Naeem, you're just trying to sensationalize this sacking. You know, he's a bad guy. I think Naeem,
I'm just shocked about who might turn up. That's all it is. Like from what you hear, the latest news. Yeah, I mean. It was initially Gary O'Neill, but I think from what it looks like, I think for Wolves, Wolves is he's wildly tentrous of some sort. I don't think he wants. It's too dangerous for him. I think he's got some bad vibes out of it. Wildly tentrous. I said it. I worry about Wolves because they play United twice in December, just for the vibes.
Robbie Keane, though. Apparently, Robbie Keane that was his first club. He came from the ranks, so he apparently applied for the job. So.
Yeah.
Has he ever managed Robbie Keane?
No, he's a manager in Hungary. I can't remember the name of the club, but he's managing in Hungary.
That's going to be interesting, man. That'll be interesting. I think they want to stay in the Prem, so it'll be interesting.
Gunners, man. I think they're gunners. They just look. I watched the highlights against Fulham, and I think they just look bad. They look really terrible. They had a player sent off for last man foul, terrible, man. Just whoever gets the job is going to take some doing if he keeps them up. And if they go for Ten Hag, that is, when I say left field, that is left field. I don't think they should do that. I think they should get someone who's a bit more of a steady hand. Ten Hag, because he will go the way of Ange. If he goes to Wolves and then gets relegated, he's not getting a job in England again. You flamed out at United. It wasn't quite your fault, but whatever. You got Dash from Leverkusen inside a month. Yeah. You come to Wolves, and then if you get them relegated or you get sacked, it's all right.
But I can see him doing that. He seems that kind of person who wants to prove a point. He'll come back. So let's see it.
I'm all for proving a point, but come on, man, you got use your brain. Don't be going to a club like that, and then you got them relegated. Yeah, that's a stain on your CV, you know.
Yeah, but then sometimes, obviously, the pay packet and put yourself in the shop window again. Look, Vincent Kompany, he got Burnley relegated, and look, he got the Bayern Munich job, man. So sometimes it's just about how But I'm with you as well. I think it's a risky thing. If I was him, I would just kind of wait for the Ajax job again, or
go there.
Yeah, go back to the.
He's got the severance pay, isn't it? At the moment, he doesn't need to worry in that aspect.
Yeah, just chill, man. Just really take time out and just chill, man. Enjoy the family, enjoy the severance pay. But listen, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we will be back. Peace out, man.